welcome to another interesting segment on Home Truth Nigeria. Today, I want to talk on the types of women Nigerian men run from. If you've been watching or following my videos closely, we've talked about part one and two, if not more, about the kind of men that Nigerian men you should run from. We even went a step further, to talk about the kinds of Nigerian men basic actions they do that you should basically, clinch to and never let go. So today, I want to, talk on the kind of women Nigerian men would run from. So let us beam the searchlight a little bit on the types of women. So at least a whole lot of you would know for sure what I'm talking about. Now, it's important to understand that when a relationship or marriage with a Nigerian man ends, or maybe there's a breakup or divorce like you have in most relationship, a lot of Western ladies are very quick, to play, the victim card, or what do I call the scam card, because I mean, what better way to say that you were the victim, most especially when you're dating a Nigerian? Because I mean, when you talk about scamming, there's a huge correlation with Nigerian men and scam. So a lot of ladies blame the fact that the Nigerian man actually was in the relationship to scam them. And I've seen cases like this, where I know a couple, they were married for, I don't know, close to 5 years, and along the line, it didn't work. And I know the man very well, very, very well. He was a very good guy. And the lady was like, "Oh, he scammed me. He scammed me. He used me in the marriage." And I was like, "Okay, what did he actually scam you from or of?" And she was just thinking of what to say. I was like, "Because you didn't bring him overseas, he didn't get his visa through you or his citizenship through you. He's a professional. He met you, he loved you, and he got married to you. For whatever reason, uh, the marriage did not work. So quit telling everybody that this guy scammed you." Because the truth is that a lot of ladies are very quick to point fingers to the Nigerian man once the marriage or the relationship fails. And that is why today you have a lot of, women in the Western world with, one, two, three different baby father, one lady with three different baby father. So today I would like to point certain things that, could, you know, actually, make a Nigerian man avoid you. So before I proceed, I would like to say if you're dating a romance scammer, you may not even know that you have a problem. Because the truth is that for whatever thing you tell the scammer, whatever behavior you put up, it is deaf and blind to him. He's not interested in that because he's so focused or keen on what he's gonna, accept from you. But on the contrary, when you're dating a real Nigerian man, he would warn you about certain behavior, and if you do not, try to stop or change something about that behavior, then your relationship or marriage could be compromised or could be at risk. So, without going any further, let us talk. The first kind of women Nigerian men, when I talk about Nigerian men, I'm talking about a serious minded Nigerian man. I'm not talking about a goofball bomb. I'm talking about a serious minded Nigerian man. The first kind of woman he wants to avoid is the party animal. If you're one of these ladies who love going for parties, hanging out with them girls, just to have fun and cruise and enjoy yourself and all of that, you may have a problem with a Nigerian man. Now, you may be dating a Nigerian man who also loves to party, and enjoy the moment. But I've always said this: the moment things get real, things get serious, with a Nigerian man, you may see a total switch or reverse of certain things you guys used to do, probably when you're dating, and having fun and enjoying yourself. So a lot of times, a lot of ladies, they get carried away with this constant partying and all of this. But when a Nigerian man who is serious wants to settle down and start a family, he's going to have a 360 turn, a complete brain reset from doing things like this. So, with this brain reset, if you are this lady and you don't know when to stop, you don't want to stop, you're still, partying frequently, then you would not last long with a Nigerian. The Nigerian guy would basically, leave you on the long run. So if a serious Nigerian guy is getting to know you and he discovers like you are a party animal, he wouldn't, consider you fit enough, to go into a serious relationship with. And that is the truth. So Nigerian men, when they are very serious, they avoid party animals. Believe what I am telling you. Another point is night clubbing. Serious Nigerian men wouldn't put up with this. In fact, in the Nigerian society, it is considered an act of irresponsibility. Going to club, constantly and partying. It is very, very untypical. Also, for women, the society frowns on women who engages in such. So, when a Nigerian man is very serious in the relationship with you, and he discovers you're a lady who enjoys clubbing. There are a lot of Nigerians who go for clubbing. I personally is not my thing, but there are a lot of Nigerians who go for clubbing, sparingly. There are those who go every week. But when a man is serious, raising a family, going into a serious relationship with you, this is one thing he wouldn't put up with, serious clubbing. He may go sparingly if it is a stain, but it is something that most Nigerian men that are very serious would not want to do. So if you're somebody who enjoys clubbing, you like going out ladies' night and on Fridays and whatever the case is, just to dance and shake body, you could have a problem with a Nigerian man. Nigerian men who want to settle down would not consider these to be very, very responsible. Another one is rude and aggressive. So if you're rude and aggressive, you could find Nigerian men, distancing themselves from you. Nigerian men hate these two combination. It's a total turn off. So if you're one of this lady who at any slight provocation you flare up and then you start, throwing tantrums, or you do some kind of like dehumanizing things in private and especially in public, you use words and you don't care, you say it as it is, and you don't care who is listening, it's none of your business. It could be a problem with a Nigerian man. The truth of the matter is that Nigerian men love their women to be very calm and classy. Calm and classy. And when I talk about classy, a Nigerian man would expect his woman not to trade words in public. A Nigerian man will expect his woman to be well behaved in public. And like I said in some of my videos, when you are with a Nigerian man, you are a representation of him. So the way you comport and you behave yourself outside, says a lot about him. Says a lot about him. So most Nigerian men wouldn't want to, get stuck up with a lady who is aggressive and is ready to fight, to exchange words, and to throw tantrums. This behavior would chase him away from you before he even gets to know you into deeper. The another thing is you don't act like a lady. Now, here's the thing: there are a lot of strong-minded, powerful women who are strong as men, and they do things like men and all of this. It is okay. There are ladies who complain that their partners, who are of course Nigerians, don't treat them like ladies. And one factor to that is the Nigerian men, love their women to act like a lady. There's a saying that, there's some Nigerian men they use, like, if you behave like a man, I will treat you like a man. And that is the truth. A lot of Nigerian men use this, phrase. If you behave like a man, I will treat you like a man. I don't know if any of you must have heard this from any Nigerian man, but this is a very common phrase. So you see, acting like a lady doesn't necessarily mean you're a weak person. But sometimes Nigerian men want you to be the lady while he himself becomes the man. You could be physically stronger, you could be mentally tough, stronger. You could be even the person who could fix all the furnitures in the house, because you've got the knowledge and skill. Traditionally, these things are looked as before as something men could do. If you assume to be this kind of person, the Nigerian man will start, asking himself questions. What then is he good for? In that relationship. So sometimes it is very important. I tell some ladies, acknowledge that he's the man. If there's something that requires strength, something that requires toughness and all of this, you could ask him. It doesn't mean you can't do it. You can do it. You are able to do it. But sometimes it is very important, just to, like, tell him this so that he feels like, okay, you value the fact that he's the man in the relationship. And when he gets this feeling, he treats you like a lady. And this involves him, pampering you, use the term petting. And it gives him this sense of belonging that you kind of like expect him to protect you, even though you are a combination of Ronda Rousey and what do you call her? Chris Cyborg. You got three black belts and you can protect yourself. But giving him that idea that, okay, you want him to protect you, it makes him feel more or less like a man. On the other hand, there are a lot of women who, you would basically, scream down on your Nigerian man, and you kind of like, try to uh, tell him things that you need him to do, like, I need you to fix this, I need you to do that, and all of this. Like, you don't make him feel like he's the man in the house. You rather you treat him like a boy, and all of that. When you do this, your Nigerian man will start withdrawing from you and keeping his distance. And gradually, you will start having problems in your relationship because he will start questioning himself, like, why is he in your life? What is his function? If you don't see him or accord him that respect of being the man in that relationship, then it is better off for him not to be in that relationship. And that is why I always tell ladies that sometimes, no matter how strong and independent you are raised, and how easy it is for you to do certain things, try to allow him be the man. Even though you can do everything, just make him feel he's also important, that you need him to do a lot of things traditionally men should do. You need to understand also where he is coming from. In the Nigerian culture, as I said before, it's a stoic culture where the men are expected to do things that are more physical and taxing. So you need to give him that room, to make him feel manly, in as much as you are very okay and independent to handle everything. Just make him feel like, okay, this is the hard part. This is the part that requires physical strength. I need you to do this. This also goes also to within your finance. There are a lot of ladies who sometimes you're so independent while you're dating your Nigerian man that even when you marry him, it doesn't give you a cent. It doesn't give you a cent because from the relationship, you have showed him that you are capable of taking care of everything. You're very independent. So, what does he do when he makes his own money? If there are things that are needed generally in the house, maybe bills for light, electricity, house rent, food, no basic necessities, he would do that. But additional things that you may need to do, maybe get a dress, get some shoes, change your phone, and all of this, he would like, oh, she's an independent lady, she can fix that by herself. So sometimes it's a little bit important to make him understand that, okay, look, you are the man, you need to do your duty and your function. So if you try to make him feel less, you could lose this Nigerian man, and that is the truth. Another point is the control freak. Now, are you a control freak? If you're a control freak, stay away from a Nigerian man. If you're this kind of ladies who direct Nigerian men, like you're actually using a remote control, to change stations and channel from TV, then you would have a problem with Nigerian man, and that's the truth. One thing Nigerian men hate is to be ordered around by a woman. In fact, if another Nigerian man comes into the home of a Nigerian and he sees him being ordered around by his wife, he would tell others that this Nigerian man has been black magic, juju, voodoo. He's under a spell, and that's why he's been ordered around, because ideally it is something you would rarely see in an African home, and not just Nigeria. So if you're this lady who you are a control freak, you tell him, go get me this, get me that, clean this, wash this, cook this, and then you give him a little bit of insult when he's not responding fast, and then you would have a problem with this Nigerian man. You guys would not stay long, because sooner than later he would leave and end everything. And I always say this: in as much as sometimes you may need him to do things, you need to find the right and the proper manners of approach, to present things to him. You need to, no matter how older you are, even if you're older than him, even if you have a more accomplished status, even if you earn more, don't do anything that would trigger his ego. Don't do anything that would trigger his ego. Now, sometimes if this man is dependent on you on achieving something, he could let some of these things you do slide, because he doesn't want to confront you, especially if he knows that you have a very short, temper. He wouldn't want to confront you so that you don't get angry and maybe kick him out of the house or divorce him or end the relationship, and then he doesn't get what he's actually there. He could swallow all of this. The moment he gets what he wants, he would leave you. But if you're dating an alpha male, a Nigerian male, the moment you order him around, he's going to look at you and warn you, don't ever try this again. Don't ever in your life try this again. He's going to look at you eyeball to eyeball and tell you this. It is not something we're used to in an African home. So if you're a control freak, you would have a problem with a Nigerian man. The next is the use of profane and vulgar word. So this we consider very, very irresponsible in our society and culture. And in fact, when you use profane words in our society, you're sometimes considered to be childish. You are seen like a girl in a woman's body. For this reason, most Nigerian men don't like it. I've said this countless times. In Nigeria, when we are angry, we have our own choice of words. When we're angry in Nigeria, we have our own choice of words. You know, if you pay attention and watch when two Nigerians are having heated, problem, arguments, you could hear things like, who do you think you are? Do you know me? Go and sit down. We try as much as possible not to use, profane and vulgar words. It's not part of our culture. So you're not going to hear a Nigerian woman who is dating a Nigerian man that is well brought up using the F word, F this, A this, B this. It's not part of our culture. In fact, these words, when we were young, because of our exposure to Western movies, movies from the United States and all of that, because of our exposure to these movies, parents and also teachers in school, they had to look for everything possible to stop us from using such, profane and vulgar words, and this is one of the reasons why it is not part and parcel of most uh, Nigerians when they are getting heated. So if you're one of these ladies who is a very quick, to dish out vulgar words, then you may have a problem. But then again, if you are so addicted to it, at every slight provocation, you're ready to, stick the middle finger and all of this, there are some Nigerian men, few Nigerian men who you could live very well with, because they also use these words. And these Nigerian men are not considered to be responsible in our society. They're considered to be irresponsible. So you guys could make a good match. It could be like the new Bonnie and Clyde, as the case may be. But if you are in any way trying to deal with a responsible Nigerian man, this would not in any way work. The moment he notices at every slight provocation you're dishing out all of this, he would disappear. He would lose interest in the relationship. No man wants to raise a kid with a wife or start a family with a wife that the mouth is filled with profanity and vulgarity. No Nigerian man would want to go or trade that route. And that's the truth. The next one is too desperate. Now, this is one mistake a lot of Western ladies display with Nigerian men, and this is desperation. Now, some of you would meet a Nigerian man. The moment you see all his cuteness, he's good looking, he's got good body, whatever, you start vibrating and palpitating. Of course, we could all understand this. You're attracted to him. But I've always said this countless times. When you're dating a Nigerian man, never be or act so desperate. When you act so desperate, Nigerian men get scared. And that is the truth. A lot of you don't know this. Nigerian men get scared when you're desperate or too desperate. The reason is we are not used to this from women. We are not used to women being desperate. Nigerian women, they don't display desperation. We're not used to this. Of course, you could see that with celebrities, but Nigerian women, they don't display desperation. So when you're acting so desperate, the Nigerian man will start looking at you as the lowest of lowest in the pyramid. Like you're somebody nobody wants, like nobody wants you. So it's like, what are you hiding? Why are you so desperate? Is there something about you that you so much, you want somebody to come into your life and then you're acting so desperate? Typical example, there are two classes of women who show this. One, the older women, very desperate. They are so desperate when they meet younger Nigerian men, so desperate. They could go literally to the gate of hell to pay a Nigerian man a visit. And then, secondly, single mothers. A lot of single mothers are desperate. I can understand this need, of wanting somebody, a male figure, who would come in and, guide your children and you form a family. I can understand this. So you see, Nigerian men are basically used to going after ladies and asking them out. And when a Nigerian man asks a lady out, there are three possibilities. The first one is the lady could tell him, "Let me think about it." She's not giving him any answer. No matter how much this lady likes this dude, no matter how much she fantasizes of him, she will still act cool and tell the guy, "Let me think about it." She's trying to tell the guy that, listen, I am not easy to come by. You don't ask me out and then you get me at the snap of your finger. No, I would stress you so you would know the importance of me and you wouldn't dare do things that would, make you lose me. So she could say, let me think about it. The second possibility could be, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend, or sorry, I'm not interested. And then the third possibility is, yes, the lady says yes. So when you just throw yourself at a Nigerian man just like that, he will be thinking, what are you up to? Are you somebody that nobody wants? Everyone has rejected you, that you could just, throw yourself at him. He may think you're not good enough. Again, I'll need to reiterate, please don't confuse desperation from actually when a lady is giving a man a green light. What I mean is when a lady is actually showing a man she's interested, it could be that, okay, because the lady is interested in the man, she's willing to speak with him, talk with him, go out on a date with him. But it is different from you, initiating everything, doing everything, and all of that. Now, this brings me to another point I would like to talk about. Is a one trick romance scammers use to get a lot of you addicted and desperate is that when they come to you and they ask you out online, with all the charade and shenanigans they do to get your attention, and then they ask you out online, they give you that notion that you're very important and they love you. And because they understand that you are desperate, they would want to make you feel like, okay, they're really into you. The moment they get you, they would gradually, stop, chatting with you. Their pace or speed or the regularity at which they chat with you would gradually drop. And I've always said to a lot of you ladies who speak to me, I've always told you something: attention is currency. So the moment he drops, he doesn't respond to you frequently. He understands that he has got you on the fix. The next thing he would want you to do is to do something that would bring his attention to you. And of course, that is basically to spend money, buy him gifts, and all of that. The final point I want to talk about is too many male friends. If you're this kind of lady who has a lot of male friends, you may have a problem with a Nigerian man, because three possibilities could happen when you have a lot of male friends and you're dating a Nigerian man. One, a Nigerian man could come into your life, and the first thing he does is to isolate you from your friends. He would try to isolate you completely, not giving you time, to hang out with your friend. You have the other Nigerian men who come and they bond up with your friends. They're intelligent to understand that these friends they've been in your life before they came, so they would bond up with your friend, and you guys would have a very good relationship together, going on. And then the last kind of Nigerian men are the ones who come and they try to restrict or limit things you do with these guys. So, for instance, they may tell you you can't speak to your friend at night. You can't be hanging out regularly with them. You're married or you're in a relationship. All of these cannot. So, because of all these restrictions, he would gradually drive your friends away, from you. So you may be in a situation whereby you're talking with a friend, you're communicating on phone, and you're all smiles, you're smiling and laughing out loud, and he could come and tell you the way you're laughing. Are you sure you're not cheating on me? And when this goes on consistently, it could drive you crazy to the point whereby you would be left between and betwixt, and you would want to decide: do you who do you let go, your friend, your friends, or the guy you're dating? So these are the three possible ways. But most Nigerian men are not comfortable when you have a lot of female friends, because there are a lot of ladies who are more comfortable with having more female friends than male friends. So, guys, there's a lot of things to say, but I would stop here to be continued another time. Home to Nigeria. Peace out.